Hi, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Spell the Bee podcast. I am your host, Sneha Ganesh Kumar. A little background on me is I was the runner-up of the Scripps National Spelling Bee in 2016, and I've competed in many competitions since then, like the National Brain Bee, many Olympiads, Academica. So the purpose of this podcast is to bring stories of competitors just like me to the light and how they had to sacrifice a lot to study for these competitions, even though what most people see is just spellers spelling on stage or a press release telling them the news of a competition, what happened in it. Hours and hours of hard work go behind these competitions, and I'd like to bring the stories of these competitors to you, how they couldn't spend that much time with their family or friends, they didn't have any free time, and stories like that to you guys. So the way this show is going to work is there's going to be 3 segments. The first segment is going to be where we talk about the heavy stuff that I just said. The second segment is going to be where I ask them about the friends that they made through these competitions, which is really a huge part of it. The community and the people you meet through these competitions last you a lifetime, and they're really, really great people. So that second segment is going to allow you guys a peek into that side of the competition community. And the third segment is just going to be a rapid fire. Some questions are going to pertain to the competition they competed in. Some are just going to be random in order for you guys to get to know them better. So our guest this week is Naysa Modi. Introduce yourself, Naysa.
Hi, my name is Naysa Modi, and I was the 2018 runner-up at the Scripps National Spelling Bee.
Yay! Okay, so, there's 3 segments for this show, and the first one we're gonna do is I'm gonna ask you about how you dealt with stress and mentally preparing for the spelling bee, your future plans, stuff like that. Okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, so I know you're really good at doing different accents. There's a video of you on YouTube, right? Of you doing all the different accents?
Yeah. My dad put it up, and I'm flattered. Thank you.
Go watch it. Just Google Naysa Modi on YouTube, and it's her doing all the different accents. She's really good at it. But anyways.
Thank you.
So since you do all of this and you perform a lot and do all of that, you're pretty comfortable on stage, right?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah. So, does being on stage give you stress? Or if it doesn't, what stresses you out about spelling bees?
Well, see, I've been performing ever since I was very little, so around 5 years old. Mm-hmm. And I've been performing basically everything. So, stand-up comedy, dancing, singing, accents, mimicry, and I've even been doing, theater and musical theater and other stuff, too. So I basically grew up performing. So stage fear really never developed on me, and I've never really been nervous on stage. Just not a thing I've suffered from.
Yeah. So does anything stress you out about spelling bees? When you go to your regional bee or your national bee, are you stressed, or do you have confidence that you can handle it?
I never really let myself get so stressed out that I can't be act normally anymore. Mm-hmm. But sometimes what used to stress me out was the pressure and what other people would think if I performed poorly.
Yeah.
But I honestly got over that by reminding myself that no matter what happens, the people who really care are going to look past your mistakes.
Yes.
And those people who stick to your mistakes and keep reminding you of your failures really aren't your real friends. Yeah. And plus, even if everyone moves on so quickly, no one dwells on things of the past as much. So you might be talk of the town for 1 week, but then people will move on.
So if you could go back and change one thing about your spelling journey, which you've been competing. Yeah, Naysa and I, we both started competing the same year in 2015, right? That was your first year too.
Yes.
So yeah, and I aged out in 2016, but she only finished competing this year. So you've been doing it for 5 years.
Right?
Yeah. So do you think your mindset of how you face nationals has changed in those 5 years?
Well, I know that in my first year, I was not expecting anything. I was just going in completely, unknowing of what I was going to get. And by the time I got to my last year, I think I was kind of, more experienced. I knew what to expect. I knew that, what events are going to be, what the difficulty level is, things like that, you know? And like I think somewhere in the middle, like in my journey, of course, spelling is not like the outcome is not a destination in my opinion. It's just a journey of like you studying as a whole. But in like through my journey, I learned many things like hard work, dedication, perseverance, and things like that. So yeah, I guess I did get more experience that way.
Do you think if you could, let's say I can like make a time machine and send you back to 2015, what would you change about your spelling journey? Would you change like would you win in your first year if you could, or do you think that experience of not making it to finals or like not winning for like the first couple of years helped you?
Oh, I definitely would not win in my first year, although that would be interesting to like ESPN broadcasters.
Like a fourth grader win. Were you in fourth grade?
Yeah, I was in fourth grade. Knowing literally nothing except spell it. So it would be very interesting if I won.
Oh my god.
But no, so I would not want to win in my first year because then I wouldn't have learned all the things. In fact, I don't think I would change almost anything because from my entire experience, I took so much away. I learned so many things like time management and you know, I really wouldn't trade those skills for winning because they will help me later on. And although winning a spelling bee helps later on too, I think that as a whole, the things that I learned from it will help me more.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, like adding on to that, like time management, like you said, like I'm in high school now, I'm a junior, I'm going to be a senior, and I've taken so many AP classes and I have so many extracurriculars. And the thing is, a lot of my friends do that too. But, you know, it took them a couple of years to get used to, like, that heavy of a workload. Like, always working and handling, like, a bunch of different things at once. But for me, since, you know, I've been doing spelling since third grade. I didn't make it to nationals as early as you, but I've been spelling for a while, too. And so that really helps down the road. Even if you don't make it to, like, semifinals or night finals, the time management skills that you learned are...
Plus, like, learning about, like, the importance of sacrifice and things like that, like learning how to prioritize all of those things, like they really help. And they like, you know, because in spelling it was so important to prioritize what your goals are and everything. But then I'm expecting that down the line, like things like that like will come up where I have to make hard decisions between something that's fun and something that's important, you know, and prioritization is really important, and spelling just taught me that.
Yeah, speaking of that, like, what did you have to give up to study? I'm pretty sure, like, you gave up a lot, and so tell us about that. How did you mentally face having to give up that much when your friends didn't have to?
I took it as, again, part of the journey, part of the sacrifice, because I knew, honestly, that nothing in life comes comfortably, right? Like, so like you're not gonna achieve things if you're just sitting there in your comfort zone. You have to push yourself out.
Exactly.
And I've learned that through spelling. And things that I gave up are many extracurriculars like soccer, track, taekwondo, singing, dance, theater. Like these are just some things to name. But like more than that, I gave up like, you know, parties and things like that. But like I gave it up willingly. It was never like something that was forced upon me and I was like, ugh, spelling, you know, like I have to like sit here and do spelling when I could be out with friends. Like it was never about that for me because I understood that spelling is my priority, and to achieve my goals, I have to be willing to make sacrifices and things like that.
Good job. Yeah.
Good job.
Good job, Naysa.
Thank you, Sneha.
So, yeah, you were talking about giving up, like, all theater, dance, and stuff like that. So, are you planning on making up for that kind of stuff that you missed out since you're done with spelling? What are you planning for the future?
Definitely, yeah. So, I've already, I mean, it is difficult to do so, but I'm gradually taking up all of the out-of-school activities I used to do. I have resumed swimming, and I go for runs in my neighborhood, like, all the time. And I'm looking into doing taekwondo as well. Taekwondo is a very important skill. Self-defense.
Since you're talking about resuming taekwondo and stuff like that, do you plan to just do your hobbies and stuff like that in high school, or do you want to do any more academic competitions? Like there's Quiz Bowl and like Academica. Do you plan on doing those kind of things?
Yes, definitely. I mean, okay, so in high school, to after high school, obviously there's college, and for college applications, they don't just look at studies, they look at other things too.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's very important to keep up other things like arts and sports and athletics and things like that. And even if it wasn't for that, like my interests just call to me. Like martial arts, I'm so interested in that because self-defense is important, like I said just now. But so yeah, I'll be continuing some martial arts, but at the same time, I will be competing in other competitions. Like I plan to do Brain Bee, HOSA, Quiz Bowl, Science Olympiad, Science Fair, and if other opportunities come up, I'll be sure to grab them.
Yeah, for sure. So, last question. I know that when I was a speller, every time like I looked into the crowd or like the camera would focus on my mom would either be squeezing like another parent's hand super, super tight, or she'd be like squeezing her eyes shut and like praying. And she was just really, really, really emotionally invested into the spelling bee. And I mean, we all still are. That's why I'm still going there every single year. But how did your parents and your brother handle you being up on stage? How did they react to that?
Well, my parents have always been the kind to be more scared about the outcome of the competitions than even me. So, like, they were in the crowd, and even though their faces showed that they were trying to reassure me and, like, reassure me to be calm, I knew that, like, how nervous they were inside and how they felt all of the pressure themselves as well.
So, moving on to our next segment, I'm going to tell you the name of one of your friends, a speller friend, and you would just tell me the first thing you remember about them, what you think about them, or a funny story that you remember when they come to mind. Okay?
Okay, got it.
Okay. So, first person, Ananya Vinay.
So, Ananya Vinay, well, she was the 2017 Scripps National Spelling Bee champion, and we have gotten quite close over the years. She's just a really funny, smart, and talented human being, and honestly, I really aspire to be just like her, because she has, like, the most insane memory of anyone I've ever met.
Yay! I know, she's ridiculously smart. She memorizes stuff, like, just
so smart. Like, I can't even begin to tell you. She, like, does herpetology now for, like, Science Olympiad or something. And it's just insane, the fact that she can remember everything.
Yeah. And, like, she did the Brain Bee, too, and, like, the LA one, and that's actually, like, a high schooler competition. And
I know.
She did it, and she got, like, into, like, the finals of the thing.
Insane.
Okay, next person, Shiv Dewan.
This is great. This is a great one. Okay, so let me just give you an overview. So Shiv is, I can easily say, one of my best friends from spelling. He's just so funny and really smart too, because he skipped a grade in high school, which is saying a lot, you know?
Yeah. He's
really smart, really funny, and one story that just stands out, like, over the rest is, you know, us spellers, we love to play Truth or Dare over text.
Yes.
So once I can't remember who, but someone dared Shiv to advertise a belt for about 30 seconds. I don't remember who, but he had to advertise a 2005 used belt for about like 45 seconds. And I have to say, that memory just really stood out.
So our next person is Shobha Desari. Tell us about her.
Well, Shobha Desari is sisters with Sharav Desari, who got 4th place at 2017 Nationals.
Yeah.
And Shobha Desari is actually one of the people who, you know, founded and, like, runs Spell Pundit, which, of course, is a very, very valuable and a good resource for spellers, since it has lots of words.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
And, yeah, and she's just such a fun person to be around.
Next person, Shrutika Paddy.
Okay. Shrutika Paddy is actually one of the co-champions of the 2019 Scripps National Spelling Bee. And I keep saying this about everyone, but it's so true. Everyone that, like, she's mentioned are just so awesome and, like, fun people to, like, talk to and just, like, hang out with. But one outstanding story that, like, stands out above, like, the other many, many stories that we have is that one time we were playing Truth or Dare again.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, like, on stage, doesn't seem like the most outgoing person, but then when you get to know her, she's just really awesome.
And that Truth or Dare, that was the best. That was, like, at, like, midnight or something, if I remember correctly.
Oh my god,
wasn't it?
that was literally the best.
I know, and no one was even the tiniest bit sleepy, and it was like so late.
Oh yeah, it wasn't even midnight. It was like 2 a.m.
Yeah, and like we just don't care. We do that. We do that each year at the spelling bee, like after the banquet.
On Friday, after the banquet and the after party. Once the after party is over, us spellers like to start our own after party. So it's very exclusive.
Yeah. And then everyone leaves, and it's just like me, you, and Mitch until like 5 a.m.
That's so accurate.
Okay, talking about Mitch, he's our next speller. Tell us about him.
Oh, well, Mitch is one of my best friends in the entire world because he is just so reliable, so funny, and so smart. In fact, he's one of the recipients of the Calvin Coolidge scholarship for college. Yeah, and he's just so, just such a genius, you know, so smart.
I know, and yeah, the Coolidge is a full ride scholarship, so he basically gets his entire college paid for no matter where he goes.
Exactly.
That's crazy. He deserves it, man. He's a smart kid.
He's
great.
Just actual genius.
We're, like, every single, like, speller is a genius, honestly. Like, everyone is just so smart. Like, you think it's just spelling, like, you know, that they're good at, but that's not true at all.
Yeah, that's not true at all.
Yeah, they're so good at stuff. Okay, and our last speller is Sneha Ganesh Kumar.
God, I hate this one.
Oh,
she's my least favorite speller. Yeah, I hate. She's so annoying. Okay, but like jokes aside, I love you, Sneha. You are my best friend in the world because you are so funny. You are so smart. First of all, you started the Queen Bee Project, which is what this Spill the Bee podcast is for. And I'm so honored to be a part of this.
Thank you. Me too.
And I'm trying to think of like one specific story, but then that would be unfair to the other hundreds of stories that we have. So
many. We have way too many. So that is it for our Speller Friends section. I hope you guys enjoyed all of those stories.
I know I did.
You don't. So this is our last segment. It's rapid fire. So for most of these, I'll just give you options between two things, and you have to pick. And if you have a specific reason, tell us why. Most of these don't even have to do with spelling, just fun stuff.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs or cats? I answered that one, sure. Why not?
Oh, you going to answer that?
Sure.
It was just an example. Hands down, dogs. I hate cats. I'm sorry to all the cat lovers I just offended, but when I was like 3 in India, a cat scratched me on my hand, and I had to go to the hospital, so I don't particularly love them.
Oh, no. Oh my god, that's scary. Aren't dogs
traumatic?
More, like, aggressive?
No.
Really?
Do you like cats more than dogs?
I mean, I don't know. Okay, some kinds of cats suck and some kinds of dogs suck, but some kinds of cats
no dogs suck.
Really
all
cool.
Dogs are awesome.
I mean, okay, do you like poodles?
No.
Yeah, see, poodles are weird. Yeah.
I mean, okay, they don't have. Okay, poodles are smart though.
Yeah. They're not cute.
And honestly, I don't have anything against poodles, you know? I would get a poodle. I would get, like, a miniature poodle, you know? I would get one. In fact, I am getting a dog. You know what, Sneha? I might just get a poodle now.
Moving on, Naysa. Texting or talking?
To who?
Anyone.
Talking. Because I can't stop talking. You know what?
That's
Actually,
true.
for that reason, maybe texting.
Yeah, you talk too much.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. The new trophy or the old trophy?
Oh my god, old trophy.
It's like, okay, nothing against the new one.
Nothing against the new trophy. Like, I mean, it is definitely, like, people definitely put a lot of hard work into it. But it's just that old trophy has been around for so long.
I know.
And, like, in all of my years of competition, except for the last one, it's always been that. And I don't know, it feels like breaking tradition or something. But I feel like in a few years, it'll become normal. And I've already started to warm up to it. But at this point in time, I do kind of prefer the old one because it's just classic.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. Let's say that you can go back and add any activity to Scripps since, like, they took out the barbecue. What, like, and you can't add the barbecue back.
I think what I would add is maybe, like, some friendship building exercise. Like, you know, you do it, like, in the beginning of camp or something. Yeah, like how everyone, like, sits in a circle and, like...
Oh my god.
Everyone,
all 500
say your name.
people sitting in a circle.
No, like, group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. Like, do it in, like, hundreds of, like, batches of hundreds. Okay?
Okay, next question. Best pep talk you've gotten, and who gave it to you, when? What was it about?
Best pep talk.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, I don't remember specifics, but I know that anytime I felt that, like I felt down or felt unmotivated, my parents would give absolutely the best pep talk to me, and then it would immediately put me back into like that full drive, like, you know, let's go, let's work hard, like super motivated kind of thing. Like my parents would give the absolute best pep talks.
What about Vivon? Does Vivon give you pep talks?
Oh, he tries.
He tries. Vivon
But
is
he's
Naysa's
honestly
brother.
his pep. Yeah, Vivon is my brother.
Yes.
He's my 7-year-old brother. Actually, he honestly does give really good pep talks. Like he'll be there. He'll be like, "Oh, Naysa, you've got this, Naysa. Like you are going to like win all your competitions." Like he'll like say random things like that, or be like, "Naysa, I know you don't feel the best right now, but remember, if you work hard, the ending you really deserve to win." And it just like warms my heart, like all the amazing things he said, because he's so little and like with these like little voice. Yeah,
he's the best. He's hilarious.
Shout out to my brother Vivon,
yes,
you guys.
Yes, Vivon.
He's the most awesome human being in the world. By the way, I didn't know that my brother's name like comes from like VIV, like the root Viv, meaning
Wait,
life.
It does?
No, it doesn't. But like, if you look at how it's spelled,
yeah,
it means Krishna.
I mean, low-key, that's accurate though.
So accurate. High key.
It is. Last one. A word that describes your spelling journey. One word.
Like describes it like in my eyes or in other people's eyes.
Yeah. Like how
I see it.
Yeah.
Impactful.
Yay. Okay, so that is it for Rapid Fire and for this episode. The first one of Spill the Bee. Yay!
The first one of many more to come.
Many more to come. Thank you for listening to the first episode of the Spill the Bee podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and make sure to keep an eye out for our next episode with Shrutika Paddy, the co-champion of the 2019 Scripps National Spelling Bee, and Isant George will be interviewing her. Thanks, guys.